What the mother of all camel humps is going on? Y'all thought I was going to swear there, didn't you? Let's get busy here. S&P 500 daily chart. I said yesterday to my members in the nightly email last night that I thought today would be sideways chop or down. Wonder how I knew that. How did I know that? There you go. Sideways chop or down. Nailed that forecast. Thank you very much. Yeah. You're going to have to excuse me. I'm eating a chocolate chip cookie right in the middle of this video with some espresso, breaking all the rules. Seriously bad YouTube or just video habits. Horrible. Seriously bad. S&P 500, sure enough, still extremely bullish, guys and gals. That's all there's to say about it. Hugely bullish. This may eventually give up some price down in here as we head towards these dates. Okay. And I always like to review the cycles pretty often. Let's take a quick look at this. And they look pretty good. Like this is a low, which approximately was right there. This one ran a little long. So there's a possible adjustment there, but I'm not going to touch it for now. That looks pretty good. That right there is pretty good, right? You can tell there's just like even though it was sideways, you can tell the market stalled here, right? So that's good for that cycle low. Clearly there's a little bit of decline right there, right? This is what we're looking at. We're trying to, there's two cycles that kind of went on here, the yellow one and the green one. So these cycles look pretty sharp to me. Doesn't mean the market's going to follow the cycles. Sometimes when the market's super bullish or super bearish, it'll just blast right through the cycles, act like they're not there. For the moment, I still like what I'm seeing in the cycles. I'm not going to change them. And, market is still extremely bullish. Okay, nothing so far is telling me that this market wants to pull back. Let's look at the trade of the day and we'll move on to the rest of the products. Remember, guys and gals, when I talk about the trade of the day, I don't want you looking just at the 5-minute chart or the 15-minute chart or the 1-hour chart. I want you to look at all three of them. In fact, all 5 of them. What 5 am I talking about? Weekly, daily, hourly, 15-minute, and 5-minute. Usually the trade of the day is going to happen on the 5-minute, 15-minute, or the 1 hour, one of those three. And most of the time it's between the 5-minute and the 15-minute. But you got to check all of them. And then as you're trading throughout the day, and I say day, I mean 24 hours. Because futures trade 24 hours, right? They're not just, hey, I trade from 8:30 to closing. That's all I do. No, you have all this to trade. Okay? So get your head out of your backside and become a real trader. Okay, I'm looking at the 5-minute chart here, trying to see if there's a trade of the day, right? Yes, I know hindsight's 20/20, as I like to say, but I see one trade here that stands out among all of them. Let's turn the Get Us Plus indicator on. Even though we've got the plum candlesticks helping us out, let's make it obvious by turning the Get Us Plus indicator on. Okay, right there's the trade, right? It happened at 7:45 Central Time, and bam, this was the trade. Look at this. Slightly negative, starts going up, right? Here's your trade. You could even wait till it was over here if you wanted to, but that's your entry right in this area. Boom. Once it started giving up, you got a couple choices. You could try to hang tough, which I think is a bad idea. I'd get out of the position right in here. Get out. Once it curls over, this is positive territory, you re-enter. A little bit rough here. This is very typical. Mid-morning, mid to late morning. Absolutely hate it. I do not trade, almost never trade this time of day. Horrible. Horrible. But the money was made right here. Okay, from about 58.65, probably not quite to 58.80. So maybe we'll call it 75. Probably 10 points, maybe 11. Pretty safely there. Okay, if we go back, let's see if there's anything on the 15-minute chart. So you could trade either one. Those are decisions you're going to have to make. Is there some magic way to determine which time frame to trade? No, there isn't. You're going to have to use your experience. How do you get experience? by looking at a lot of charts and doing starting off with small, really small positions. I talk about this all the time. If your skills are not good enough and you're losing money, you need to change the way you're doing it. You need to look at multiple time frames. Of course, you can get the subscription for my membership, $7.99, and use the Get Us Plus indicator on the streaming charts that are available to you. Okay. But my opinion is you should be having a really small position until you become a good trader. If you're not making profits 6 out of 10 times, you got a problem. It's not the service, it's you. It could be the service. You could be subscribing to a bad service. That is possible. But more than likely it's you. You're not doing your homework. Okay, your position size is too great. You have a service that you expect it to do everything for you. I talked about that recently. Okay, that's impossible. No service is going to give you perfect trades every time. Good luck. If you find it, let me know. We'll join it together. Okay, so anyway, the trade of the day really was, this is not a bad trade actually here at 11:15. Coming out of the mid-morning, look at that trade. Look at that. You know how I know this is a good trade? Look at this. It never reaches the bottom. It never gets down here. It stops right there and turns up. That is as bullish as it gets. This trade right here on the 15-minute chart at 11:15 is exactly what you're looking for. It's an awesome entry. By the time you get to this candlestick here or this one right here, you know it's bullish. You have the MACD telling you it's bullish. This chart's available to the members. 15-minute chart streams live. This trade is actually better than anything on the 5-minute chart today. So if you traded this from about, probably realistically guys, somewhere in the middle of this candlestick, we'll call it 58.80, all the way up to about 58.95. That's 15 points. On a choppy sideways day, that's $750 on one contract. Super nice. Okay, so that's how I would have looked at this. I might have traded the 5-minute chart and the 15-minute chart today. Especially if I saw this one right here, these 2 or 3 candlesticks, as it began to develop, this began to turn up. I'm all over that. Positive momentum, all over it. You know, there's nothing wrong with taking $300, $400, $500 of profit and just stop. You don't have to wait for it to run all the way if you're a nervous trader. Just admit it. Some of you people are nervous traders, right? So fine. Once you've made $200, $300, $400, just get out. You're done for the day. Just stop trading. But everybody always wants more. They make the mistake. They re-enter again because they think they can duplicate it again. Wrong. That's your done for the day. Wrap it up. You're one trade for the day. You're done. Be happy. Stop trying to go for gold every day and trying to win the lotto. Okay? That's not good trading. If you're a millionaire and you can spread yourself out across multiple trades and you've got algorithms helping you out and you've got a sophisticated trading system set up that's working for you, great, go for it. For the rest of the world, the retail traders with small accounts, you can't afford to do that. Okay, that's the trade of the day. That's S&P 500. Let's go through the rest of the products. We're going to start with the Russell 2000, and we'll march. You know what? Let me do the Dow Jones Transportation first. Dow Jones Transportation. Even though we don't really trade this directly, it's still a really good idea to look at this. Okay. Let's crunch this up a little bit more. Yeah, Dow Jones Transportation is trying to work its way down. It is, matter of fact, working its way down. Heading for October 27th, which is 5 days away, and November 4th. Yeah, it's pulling back here a little bit, but nothing super strong. But I would say transportation is probably going to continue to pull back here a little bit, right? It's got a little bit more to go. Looks like it's going to do that. So ETFs that are transportation oriented, yeah, probably going to pull back. You know, they used to have transportation futures a long time ago. They stopped them. I wish they'd bring them back because I would trade the snot out of that product. Okay, now let's look at the Russell 2000. Yeah, pulling back here is a really small day. It does look like it's also very similar to Dow Jones Transportation, working its way down. Looks like there's more to come. Okay. NASDAQ, NDX. NASDAQ looks bullish, right? Re-engaging, going up. Bullish here on the momentum, bullish on the SMI. Looks bullish to me. It's ignoring October 16th, came and went. Well, it didn't ignore it. I shouldn't say that. There was a little something here, a little no nothing. The big question is, will it pull back down into November? Now, I said before, we might not see any pullback till December. This looks very much delayed here to me, but we'll wait to see. SPX, even though we looked at the S&P 500, we'll look at the SPX too. Why not? Yeah, small update. Just a small update. Not much going on there. Okay, just tracking sideways. Still very bullish here on the S&P 500. Okay, let's look at the Nike 225, Japanese market. Going to use the futures to do that. What's going on here? Okay, Nike 225 pulling back a little bit. Nothing too huge, but it is pulling back. Probably going to pull back a little bit more. This is, a little ominous here. Got a crossover going on here. Even though it's positive territory momentum, the MACD has crossed over. So that's a bit of a concern for the Nike 225. I think we're going to see more pullback. This may do one of these deals. Okay, try to get this to work with me here. It may do one of these deals, like down, stall, down again. It might do that. So you get this, a little, and then down again. We'll be looking for that, see if that happens, because I think that's where the momentum's headed, maybe. Let's look at the Japanese yen. What is happening with the Japanese yen? We're going to use the E-mini for that. You can also look at, I think it's 6J if you want to get the big contracts, but it's the same stuff. Same stuff. This still has not found a bottom. Japanese yen is in huge trouble here, well below the zero line of SMI, super negative territory, hasn't found a bottom. Boy, oh boy, that is not a good look. And I suspect the euro currency is doing the same thing. Yep, same exact thing. They're both doing it. Japanese yen, euro currency getting hammered here. Absolutely hammered. This one ran right into October 20th cycle low and still not done. Wow, major pullback going on here in both the yen, the euro, and I bet the British pound's doing it too. British pound not as bad, but it is pulling back as well. It tried to do a bouncy bounce, didn't happen. Looks like the British pound is going to get hammered as well. All three of those currencies look like they're not done. Okay, let's look at the dollar. We know the dollar's got to be going to the moon. Going to the moon. Look at this. Blew right through the cycle. Look, it didn't matter. One little purple candlestick. That's it. Through the roof. Extremely bullish. Okay. All right, let's look at gold. The precious metals have been on fire. Absolutely on fire. I had somebody on the YouTube, I think my YouTube video said that gold got to $50 back in the 1980s. No, it didn't hit $50, but it did, at least not the futures anyway. Spot price, I doubt it hit 50. But back in 1980, I think it hit 43 bucks. And then I think it was 2011, it hit like 46. Something like this. So yeah, it's been higher. The reason why they mentioned that is because I said that silver, not gold. We'll get to silver. He was talking about silver. But anyways, I said silver got to all-time highs the other day. I was wrong. It has been higher, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Right here, gold has hit an all-time high. Going to go to the monthly chart. Believe gold's hit an all-time high here, right? Going all the way back to the 1980s and before. Pretty sure that's an all-time high right there, which happened, I believe. Did it happen today? Let's go check. Did we hit an all-time high today? Yes, we did. Another all-time high today, 2763. I said the other day I thought gold would get to 2,800 pretty easily. I think it's going to do it. I reworked these cycles because I believe the cycle low is way over here now. And this has got room to go. Hasn't even hit the middle of the cycle yet, which would be October 29th, 7 days away. I think gold's going to hit 2,800. I think it's going to do it kind of easily. On a roll. Let's look at silver. We use the 1,000 ounce silver futures here because I think it's where I got my best cycles set up. Silver, 35.07. Not all-time high, so I stand corrected, but certainly a high of the last, probably, I'm going to say about 13 years. This is a high of the last 13 years, I think. So more than a decade, silver hasn't been this high. For members, I mentioned this yesterday and I'll mention it again today. On the Discord server, on the main channel, I put an article in there, a link to an article about how the Chinese are acquiring silver ore through private contract. They're not purchasing the silver on the open market. So the commodities market is probably grossly or significantly understated. In other words, this would probably be like $50 instead of $35, or maybe $45 or $47 or $42 or something. Because the Chinese are acquiring silver, massive amounts of silver off the open market. They're doing it through private contract. And they're taking the ore from different nations through private contract of those nations, and they are refining it in China. So silver is both, as I said before, a precious metal that's viewed as a hedge, as well as an industrial metal, because it's used significantly in China to make solar panels, and of course used in other products. I think silver could disassociate itself with gold. In other words, they usually move lockstep. But in the years to come, I could see silver disassociating itself with gold and really just taking off. I could see it going above $50. Especially if Kamala T and the Marxist left get themselves entrenched into the Washington, D.C. White House and all that even more. If she wins or steals this election with all the socialist billionaires that are behind her, watch out. Precious metals are going to go absolutely berserk. Okay, so what's my take on silver? Looks extremely bullish. I think it might get a pullback here. It might run out of gas. 77. I'm just kind of looking at the SMI here. 75, 66. Yeah, it's kind of elevated here. You know what we're going to do? We're going to break rank here and go look at the weekly. What is the weekly telling us? Yeah, sitting up at 75, that's pretty high. I think silver, do we dare go to the monthly? Let's look at the monthly, guys and gals. We're going to do it. I don't think I have a monthly. Just go to default here. What's monthly telling me? Okay. Yeah. I'm looking at the biggest of swings here. Give me a minute. 2.68, we're at 2.3. You know, we're going to go over to SI, which is the bigger contract. It has a longer history. So give me a second. And we're going to get rid of that stupid cycle, which doesn't belong on there. Yeah. See, this was 2011 when it got crazy. Oh, I guess it did get close to $50. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the person on YouTube was right. It got up to $49.82. Okay. Good call by that person. Okay. I like to give credit where credit's due. The person called me out on it. They were right. Silver did get up to $49.82 back in 2011. Okay. But in recent times, 2.68, we're at 2.39. Yeah. Man. Silver, looks like there's a little bit of room to go here on the monthly chart. That's my take. So with that being said, we're going to work our way back. We're probably going to see an oscillation here. We're probably going to see a little pullback on the weekly and daily, and then go up again. Okay. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Okay, I don't have the daily here on this particular one. But I think what we're going to see is, so now let me go back to SLI because that's where I got my cycles. I think we might see a pullback, maybe. Especially after elections, okay? Before elections, this could still go higher. Next 2-3 weeks, this could go higher. But October 31st is only 9 days away, so we might see a pullback here. I think we see a pullback, possibly, and then a relaunch higher. Like I said, especially if Kamala T either outright wins this election or the Marxists do the old steal. Either way, I think silver is going to go much higher. even if we get a pullback. It just looks like it wants to do that. Okay, so that's silver. Let's go look at crude oil. Crude oil looks like it's found a bottom, just maybe. It's trying to mount a bounce here to go positive momentum, but it hasn't done it yet. We might be getting one of these, a little attempt and then down again. So we're going to keep a close eye on this momentum. This momentum down here on the MACD is a big deal. What is it going to do? Is this SMI short-term momentum, is it going to be enough to get this to go positive? If it does, then crude oil's got a good chance of popping up above, up here, getting up to, maybe 76, 77, 80 again. Because the reason I say that is because this low is higher than that hot low, and it's higher than this low. If it survives this pullback, this momentum, if it survives it and goes back up because of this short-term upward swing, then this thing could go to like 80, maybe even mid 80s. I mean, low 80s, like 82, 83. It could do that. Okay, so we're really going to watch crude oil here. What does that momentum do? That momentum is really the key to determine which way this is going to go. If this does this, kind of fails, momentum is going to go, and then bombs away. So we got to watch this for the next week or two to see what this is going to do, okay? Even the next few days could really give us a sign what this is going to do. Let's look at corn. Corny corn. Corn looks really good here. Boy, this looks good, guys. I think just maybe this corn is going to survive and go positive momentum. If it does that, watch out. I think corn will go above 430 again and take off, get up into here, maybe hit 440. Okay, so kind of like crude oil, it's a little bit, the corn's in a little bit better shape than crude oil as far as where it's at in its momentum swing. If it survives this and this turns and crosses over again, does a little crossover thingy, that's going to be very positive and the thing's going to take off. We need to give this a little bit more time. But would I go long on this? Yeah, I'd go one contract, super small contract long. Sure, I think it's worth the risk. Make sure you got your stop losses and all that in place. All right, let's look at XLP. I think we're going to finish this up here. October 20th. Man, XLP is in trouble. XLP is in trouble, guys. It's going to do this. That's what's going to probably happen with XLP. It just did not make it. It did not cross over. Instead, it went south. This is going to go south. This is going to go south. That is the greatest probability right there. Looks like XLP is going to get the smackdown. I kind of like XLP right now for a short side play, which would be through options. That's it. Join $7.99. Get the charts for S&P 500 futures, for gold, the 5 to 15 minute, the 1 hour. You get the cycles on a 1 hour chart. You get the Get Us Plus indicator, which has been absolutely on fire. Nightly emails of 5 different charts in the email, Monday through Thursday, 4 days a week. Of course, I always give my opinion in that email about what I think the market's going to do. Just like last night, I told members, I think today on the S&P 500 is going to be chop or down. That's exactly what happened. How do I know that? Well, I'm not going to tell you how I know. How about that? You got to pay for it to get the opinion, because I don't give advice. That's it. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to all real soon again next time.